Yo, AAA Mega Head Bad Deck Enthusiast, and I'm here today with the deck I've been using to clap the Link Festival, DARKLORD. Now, if you're a good Master Duel player, you probably went into the secret pack for Forbidden Droplet, or if you're a reformed Drytron Duel criminal, then you probably have the Diviners available to make the deck. Or if you enjoyed Duel Links in the past and when it was running rampant and you love big beefy boys and Eggshell, then this might be the deck for you. But first, I just wanted to thank everyone who's been liking and commenting on my videos and subscribing to the channel. We now have over 120, and I appreciate all of you. It means the world to me. I hope we can continue to grow. I also stream on Twitch about 5 times a week. Feel free to follow the link in the description. We do diamond climbs, wacky deck builds, theory crafting, viewer duels, and many more, so please join the cookout. Now, let's get to the deck list. Now, I know what you're thinking. This isn't a Link deck. Well, yeah, it's not, but one of DARKLORD's capabilities is really good at putting bodies on the board. And not just any bodies, I'm talking about big, thick bodies, if you know what I'm saying. Got some chunky boys over here. And that's pretty much the name of the game. So what you want to do is, usually you want to start off with Diviner. This is probably the best card in the deck. Send in Trius to the grave, which I'll show you in some replays afterwards. Sets up the whole play where you get a free Condemned DARKLORD and a search. And what you're trying to do is summon Morningstar while your opponent controls a monster, which you can give them a monster if you want with Indulge DARKLORD, or you can just go second forehead. But yeah, you want to summon this while your opponent has a monster, because for every monster they have in the field, you get to summon a big beefy DARKLORD from the deck. This one, they all have the ability to copy the DARKLORD spell and traps. This one's a Rhoda. This one is like Monster Reborn. And then this is pop a card, non-target, steal a monster, non-target, and negate a monster, non-target, and gain life points. So pretty much that's how the deck works. We also have reasonings in here to cheat out any of these monsters. There's no right number to call. Your opponent's going to try to call the right number, but you got some level 1s, some 2s, you got some 3s, some 4s, you got a 6, a 7, some 8s, a 9, 2 9s, some 10s, 11. There's no right number. So yeah, pretty much you use reasoning to bait out Ash, and your opponent will probably Ash it, or if not, Eggshell can discard any DARKLORD. You want to discard Superbia, but you can discard any DARKLORD card to draw 2, so there's times where you want to discard a trap because you have other plans, and pretty much that's it. What this Condemned DARKLORD does is you can discard a card to add or send to the graveyard from deck a DARKLORD monster. So you're usually using it to add Morningstar, but there's occasions where you want to add Indulge. Indulge is probably your best DARKLORD starter. And what it does is it adds a DARKLORD from the deck to the hand, and it also special summons one from the deck to your opponent's field. You want to give this one to your opponent. For them, it doesn't really do anything. When it goes to the graveyard, all your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack and defense for every fairy on the field. It also has a quick effect to tribute summon from your hand, which you can use on your turn if you summon it back from the graveyard with DARKLORD contact or not. Anyway, the deck's pretty cool. When it pops off, you get to make a lot of Link plays. You summon your IP Masquerena. One of my favorite Link monsters, Blackluster Soldier. You'll see in a replay, I summoned it a few times. You can Underworld Goddess your opponent's normal summon. That comes up a lot. I haven't really had to make access code or Appaloosa, but yeah, the deck's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is our current win record. We climbed up from Gold 4 up to Plat 5. It was pretty common Link strategies like Salad Mage, Marincess, and Sky Striker. And pretty much if you can get through the hand traps and summon your big guys onto the field, then usually it's too much for them to handle, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to show you guys some duels where we were able to open up optimally so you can see the combos, as well as just some duels where we were able to clap some Link decks. Let's go. Yo, so this duel's up against Sky Striker, and we have a pretty good hand. You want to see Diviner in your hand. Eggshell's pretty cool. Reasoning is an Ash bait, so yeah, and we're going first. So right away we're gonna go Reasoning. He's gonna chain Maxi. Maxi's a little bit scary for us because when we pop off, we will special summon a lot. So we Reasoning, we get the Capricious, then we normal summon Diviner to send the Trias Hierarchia to the graveyard, which can quick effect summon itself in the main phase by tributing off fairy monsters on the field. And we're just gonna pass our turn like that. We didn't want to give him too much. So he goes into Pancratops. I probably wanted to Maxi earlier, but I waited and I got a little bit punished for it. But because Pancratops targets, if he tries to pank my monsters, I can just tribute them away and summon the Trias. And since he's under Maxi, that puts a lot of pressure on him. So he goes Pank, tries to target, we tribute them both. We go Trias, but eats a Gamma. We get hit with a Gamma, Trias is dead. But the Diviner did trigger, so we get summon Eva from the deck. And now he's going to go into Sky Striker. Good thing this is Link Festival, because if it wasn't, we'd be looking at like an Omega or something here. And he goes into Link 2, into Dark. We get to draw. He's going to summon the Capricious to his field, which we would have gave it to you, man. You didn't have to do that. He goes into Phoenix for I don't know why. But all of this is a ruse, because he just wants to use Pot of Avarice to try to get something in his hand to balance the card advantage we've been given. He kills Eva. We get to add from our deck the Angel of One, which is the whole purpose of Eva anyway, is to get Angel of One in our hand. And then the Driver's Banished. Now we start our turn with a big hand, a nice gigantic hand. We're going to use Ixchel to discard Superbia and draw 2. Right then and there we know he doesn't have Ash, because who's not going to Ash Pot of Greed? We go into the Contact. Contact can special summon a monster from our graveyard. Superbia, when special summoned, can special summon a monster from the graveyard. So this can miss timing, so you have to make sure it's on Chain Link 1 when you summon it back. And we summon the Ixchel in attack mode because we're going for game. Now Indulge will then summon Ukko back to his field, and we get Morningstar. And we're going to go into Condemned. Condemned has 2 effects. One effect can discard to add a Darklord to a hand or send it to the graveyard. And the other effect is when you want to tribute summon, you can banish monsters from your graveyard for the cost of the tribute summon. So we use the Angel of One, which gives us a separate normal summon for, I think it's a level 7 or higher monster. And it can also special summon itself. And now we get to summon from the deck 2 big giant Darklords. Then we mill 5, sending a trap. We make our Soldier of Chaos, and we're going for game. And now that I know that he's on Sky Striker doesn't really have a good out to Soldier of Chaos, so he gets clapped. We popped off, and we start a full hand, full of combos that we can do next turn. So let's go to the next duel. So this next duel is against Salad Mage. Good old Salad. I don't know why they chose the Waterfield. But yeah, we're going second this time. We have a pretty good hand. All things considered, Harpy's Feather Duster is Salad Mangrade's second worst enemy. First enemy being Nibiru. So yeah, they're gonna go with the Circle, add the Gazelle. Then they're gonna use Spinny to go into Balinx. Balinx will add. Oh, he doesn't even add the field spell. The Gazelle special summons. He must already have it in hand. Says the Jack Jaguar, activates the field spell. Spinny will then summon itself into Lingaribo, into Splash Mage, and truthfully, like, I've never played Salad. I have no clue what he's doing. Summon back the Gazelle into Heat Soul. Okay, so this is Heat Soul. Heat Soul's a really good card. It allows him to pay 1,000 and draw a card every turn, and I'm sure it has another effect that never comes up. And then here we go. They go into a second Balinx to get Balinx into the graveyard. I'm guessing that's a live Salad Trap. We're going to use our Harpy's Feather Duster. And it was a Solemn Strike. So we dodged the bullet. Then we go Ixchel, sending Capricious to the graveyard to draw 2. We draw into Nurgle and Diviner. Did he use Balinx to protect? He used Balinx to protect the field spell. Diviner will then send out Trias Hierarchia. And then we're going to summon it right away. Tribute, summon Eva from the deck. Same combos before. Make the Condemned. Condemned can then, well, first we're going to add our Angel of One. Eggshell will then be shown so we can special the Angel of 1. Then we pitch the Eggshell for the Morningstar. Banish 2. Summon the Morningstar. Morningstar can still summon 2 big beefy Dark Lords from the deck. We get our Superbia and Emotion. We get our Nastin. Nastin copies the Change of Heart trap. And then we pay 1,000 to draw a card. And guess what my opponent did after that? He left. Yep. And I would too. He got wrecked on that one. We were about to clap all his life points away. GG. So this last duel I'm going to show you is against Live Twin, Evil Twin, whatever twin it is today. I don't know which twin it is. And we're also going second. So let's get right to it. They're going to go for the Sunny Snitch. Sunny do be snitching though. It's going to special summon the Kill, since summons the Leela. Kill will then summon from the graveyard, blah blah blah. I played this deck, I'm sure. Check my video out if you haven't seen it already. And then Leela will summon back the Kill. They will draw a card, go into Trouble Sunny. And usually they pass the turn here. With a lot of hand traps and a lot of draw power, this deck can play like all tons of different back row and hand traps, so it's kind of tricky. But here we go. So we're going to draw into Superbia. Superbia is always the best discard for Eggshell because you kind of want them both in the graveyard. So that's the first thing we do. And I was expecting Ash, but we got Max Seed. So right away, I'm like, okay, we're going for lethal. Because that's what you do, right? You get Max Seed, you push forward. Special summon Nastin. Nastin, well, because we sent this trap card, we now have a live negate, and it's non-target, so whenever he decides to jump off the field, it's not really a problem for us, because we also have Call by the Grave. So, him knowing that this Nastin is live, it's kind of going to mess with him. So we go for Banishment, we add our Contact. Contact will then special summon Superbia, which will activate. And we'll summon an Eggshell. In attack mode, because we're going for game, baby. Eggshell will then activate, copying the Contact to add Morningstar. Shuffle back into the deck, then we make our Condemned. And now right here, if he would tag out after we summon this, then we get 2 monsters. So he's not going to tag out. So we only get 1 monster here. Banish 2, summon. Now we can summon from the deck. This card is untargetable when you have another Dark Lord on the field. So he can't Veiler it or anything. And now we summon Nurgle from the deck. Nurgle gives all our Dark Lords piercing damage. Shouldn't come up, but it does that. It also copies spell and traps in the grave. And we can also mill for every Dark Lord on the field and gain life points 500 for each Dark Lord card that we mill. So we gained 1,000, which means we milled 2 fairies. Is it Dark Lord card or fairy? It's I think it's Dark Lord card. So we milled 4. Oh, we milled Capricious. Okay. We decreased him by a lot. He's gonna tag out, but we have the Call by the Grave, and that's just it. Attack directly. Big beefy boys for game. And yo, this deck is a lot of fun. Yeah, so once again, guys, this is the deck list. It's a lot of fun. So as you can see, the combos with the Diviner and what it brings to the table, you kind of do need Diviner if you want to play it like this. Feel free to let me know in the comments below what other Link cards I can play, because as you can see, I went in there 12 extra deck monsters. So we have 3 slots. I was thinking maybe like a, I don't want to craft anything for this because it is just an event and the purpose is to get gems. But yeah, you could use like Boral Sword or whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you have, I would say, Underworld Goddess, IP Masquerena, and Condemned Darklord. Those are the main ones. This card came in handy too. Herald of Mirage Lights. It is a spell trap negate. It's a good card. I didn't know, but I threw it in there and it works. So yeah, if you guys know any other cards I can play, just let me know. You don't really need 2 Superbia. 1 is fine. Also, these traps are pretty good because none of them target. So being able to copy them with your big Dark Lords effects means that you always have non-targeted interruption. As long as you can mill them to the graveyard, you could send them to the graveyard with Eggshell, send them to the graveyard with Nastin. Tez can protect your monsters, so that's why you run them. And pretty much that's it. I hope you guys enjoy the deck. And remember, if it works for me, it can work for you. Peace out.